Section 1500 Service in Manufactured Home Communities. 1501 General. Service to manufactured homes within a manufactured home community may be supplied from an underground or an overhead distribution system. Customer may request service from either type of system with the CPS Energy Customer Service Representative. Refer to helpful numbers listed on the inside front cover page. 1501 Final grades provided by customer. Customer is responsible for providing finished grades before CPS Energy installs transformers and trenches for primary voltage ducts and secondary laterals. In cases where the final grades are changed after CPS Energy has begun the installation of the infrastructure, the redesign and construction charges associated with the changes will be the customer's responsibility. Customer shall identify all property lines as required by CPS Energy. 1501 Two easements for CPS Energy facilities. CPS Energy facilities such as overhead and underground primary voltage cable, transformers, secondary laterals, secondary enclosures, service laterals, and service drops, may be installed in rear lot, front lot, or other dedicated easements. CPS Energy facilities may also be installed in alleys, streets, or other public right-of-way as deemed necessary. If transformers are installed in rear lot or dedicated easements, transformers shall be installed adjacent to a drivable surface. A. Restricted use of easements. Customer shall not permit any structure, such as storage buildings, swimming pools, spas, decks, patios, carports, garages, concrete walks, and drives or equipment to be temporarily or permanently positioned over electric and/or gas lines or in their easements. Note: while easements are not required for routing of ORD service laterals and conduits, CPS Energy will not permit temporary or permanent structures to be placed in a manner that will obstruct CPS Energy access for maintenance or repair to service laterals and conduits. B. Call before digging. Texas law requires anyone, including homeowners, who plan to excavate to notify 1-800-DIG-TESS or 811 call for location of underground facilities at least 2 working days in advance so that the utilities lines can be located and marked for safety. Refer to helpful numbers listed on the inside front cover page. 1501 3 CPS Energy Facilities and Maintenance. CPS Energy will own, operate, and maintain transformer installations, primary and secondary cables, conduits, secondary enclosures, service laterals, and kilowatt-hour meters. CPS Energy may perform maintenance as required to meter sockets. 1502 Underground Residential Distribution System, ORD. ORD systems for mobile home communities shall be installed in accordance with Section 700 of these standards, with the following exceptions. 1. The service lateral trench and conduits shall be furnished and installed by CPS Energy. Customer shall furnish and install trench and conduit for all other installations. Note: customer shall not stub up conduits into energized pedestals or transformers. 2. CPS Energy will furnish and install the service lateral from the transformer terminals or secondary enclosure directly into a metering pedestal that is furnished and installed by the customer. Refer to Section 1800 and Figure 1501. 3. Surface-type meter mounting pedestals furnished and installed by customer. Customer's weatherproof service equipment and power outlet may be mounted on the pedestal. Meter pedestals shall be mounted on or concrete embedded in a minimum 18-inch diameter by 20-inch depth concrete base. Meter pedestals shall meet all specifications and be approved by CPS Energy prior to installation. Refer to Figure 1501. Customer shall install the pedestal as specified in Section 1800 and shown in Figure 1501. Customer must notify CPS Energy in advance as to the type of pedestal to be used. Note: only 1 meter per pedestal shall be permitted by CPS Energy. 4. Where customer elects not to use a meter pedestal, they may construct and utilize metering equipment rack approved by CPS Energy for the mounting of single-position meter sockets and customers' service equipment. Refer to definition of metering equipment rack and figure 1820. The CPS Energy customer service representative will review and approve proposed equipment installation design. Design submittal must include the number of meters, the size and rating of service equipment, conductor sizes, and estimated demand load requirements. 5. Meter sockets shall not be mounted on manufactured homes. 6. Meter pedestal/meter equipment rack shall be permanently labeled with the address and where necessary with a description of the equipment or structure it supplies. 1503 Overhead distribution system. A standard installation will typically consist of the basic equipment and steps listed in 1 through 5 below. Customer shall review the referenced articles for more specific information and requirements. 1. Mainline poles, primary voltage lines, overhead distribution transformers, and secondary lines furnished and installed by CPS Energy in easements furnished by customer. 2. Service drops furnished and installed by CPS Energy as required. The cable will run from the pole-mounted transformer terminals directly to the service entrance, drip loop, conductors provided by customer at CPS Energy approved customer meter pole. 3. Meter poles shall be in accordance with Section 1400, 4, CPS Energy approved single-phase, self-contained meter sockets furnished and installed by customer. 5. Meter sockets shall not be mounted on manufactured homes. Note 1. All applicable parts of Section 500 for overhead services will apply to overhead systems in manufactured home communities. Note 2. CPS Energy shall make all connections to service drop conductors. Note 3. Overhead to underground service installations shall meet the requirements for ORD installations as outlined in Article 1502 for the exception that the customer will be responsible for furnishing and installing the service lateral conduit from transformer pole to meter pedestal. Figure 1501 Standard meter pedestal installation.